Dave here. I'm with Greg Kelley from World Missions. Greg, what advice would you give a person considering a short-term missions trip or perhaps a career in missions?
Yeah, you know, if I was a pastor of a local church, I would make it as mandatory as I possibly could for someone about every 5 years to go on a short-term mission trip. And the reason is that I think it's very critical for us as we're establishing our worldview and our understanding that we have some sense of comprehension of what the majority of the world lives like and the conditions, and get exposed to some other major world religions like Hinduism or Islam or Buddhism. I think it's really critical for us from a standpoint of understanding the Great Commission. I think it's critical from a motivation standpoint, and I think it's just important that we fellowship with our brothers and sisters who are around the world. So there's all kinds of benefits to it. But when you subject yourself to some of these conditions, especially I think of the poverty, that's been probably the most common example that I can think of, is that when you go on a short-term mission trip and you see these people living in what we would consider abject poverty, and the joy among the Christians, it's very difficult to comprehend that. And I think it helps us to understand, what's really important in life. Is it what we have or who we are because of what Jesus has done?
Can you share an example of someone that's gone on a short-term trip and their life has been changed?
Yeah, there's been many examples of that, Dave. I can think of a couple of young people who went on a short-term mission trip to Haiti, and they're just watching the condition of the orphanage, for example, that they were in, and they came back and they connected with us and they said, we want to go back there, and they led 6 additional trips themselves, mobilizing about 100 different people and taking them. And so when you go on these short-term mission trips and you get exposed to what God is doing, it just motivates you to get more involved. It motivates you to do something about it. And for most people, it's shocking how little of an investment. And I'm not talking just about money. I'm talking about your time and just your talents that the Lord has given you, how big of an impact that makes in someone else's lives around the world. We hear so many times from the partners that we go to visit in third world environments, whether it's Haiti or Kenya or India or China, they look at you and they say, why did you come? You didn't know me. You don't understand my situation. You came from a very comfortable situation. You gave up vacation time. Why would you come? And for us to just look them in the eyes and say it's just because of the love of Jesus in our life, it is profoundly influential in their lives. So it's beautiful.